Welcome to the Birkin Junkie podcast. I'm the Birkin Junkie, the best Hermès reseller in the world. That's my own opinion. I can have that. Oh, goodness. Today's episode on the Birkin Junkie podcast, we have Birkin economics, when handbags become an asset class. This episode is sponsored by Wild Fig Commercial Lending. Naturally, because when your assets are rare, your financing should be equally intentional. Wild Fig works with business owners and real estate investors who prefer custom lending strategy over conventional thinking. To request their private booking link, you may email them at info@wildfigcommerciallending.com. Hermès bags aren't just a fashion statement anymore. They're outperforming stocks, gold, and real estate. Today, I'm sitting down with the founder of Luxus, the new investment fund that is targeting Hermès handbags. They have created an asset class of their own. We're here with Dana Auslander. Dana, welcome to the Birkin Junkie podcast. We are very excited to have you here. How are you?
I'm good. I had just gotten back from the second Birkin sale in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And I'm excited to sit down and talk to you about all things Birkin and economics.
I'm very interested to know, was that auction as riveting and energetic as the auction in Paris for the original Birkin?
You know, it was beautiful. Sotheby's did do such a nice job, but nothing was like the Paris auction. I think because none of us expected the original Birkin to go for 10.1 million, we were all riveted by the 10-minute bidding contest.
Yeah.
And were shocked at the end result. I came to Paris just expecting it to be $1 million and praying that that would be
I expected it to be $2 million. I was talking with somebody at the auction, and they were laughing at me because I was expecting $2 million. She was like, "No way, it's going for double digits." And I was like, "You're crazy." But I think it shocked all of us. I think it was a really intense and important moment for, I wouldn't say just handbags, but Hermès handbags as a brand and as a honestly, literally a proof of concept for what you're doing today.
And fashion, the fashion world at large. I mean, this was the second highest selling fashion item ever. After Dorothy's red slippers.
Jane Birkin's bag, the original bag, was the second highest auction item outside of Dorothy's slippers, which sold for $30 million. That's insane.
Correct.
It's insane.
It was insane. And the energy in the room, how fantastic was that?
It was pretty wild. I got to admit, it was my first auction that I've ever been to.
Me too.
What an auction to go to for your first.
Unbelievable.
I feel bad for all the other items that came after that auction because that was obviously the creme de la creme of the auction. But
totally. It was the headliner. But also, don't you think the step and repeat and the level of press that was there from CNN?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just mainstream.
News groups, Vogue, there were groups from Japan there. It was something special. It was
also nice because I had a friend from Dubai come with me last minute. And, you know, Bryony Raymond was there with me. And it was really something that nobody expected and ended up surprising everyone. And I think all of us, I met Marissa there, Meltzer, we became friends after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how a brand can connect people in a way and create a community, essentially. And I don't really know of any, outside of maybe watches, cars, etc. I don't know of any, I would say, I don't know that people connect over Prada like they connect over Hermès.
They don't.
I don't know if they connect over Fendi or these brands. I don't believe it. I'm in the Hermès community, so that's where I stay. So I kind of have blinders on to everything else that's going around, but I don't think that exists with the other brands.
Certainly not in fashion. I don't think. Maybe Chanel comes close.
Yeah, Chanel would be a close second, but
nothing is like Hermès, and they're not even trying to create a community. They're just doing their own thing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The fan base around it has been extraordinary to see.
Let's get into like the nitty-gritty of like Luxus. Tell us about Luxus. Tell us about what you're doing, what the goal is. Tell us about the company.
Sure. So first, a little about me. I have been in the hedge fund and private equity world my entire professional life. My superpower is to create alternative investments, mostly in hedge and private equity. So I started Luxus in 2021 to be able to do that for luxury goods.
Yeah.
And I'm a jewelry collector, and I wanted to really create a world where investors and collectors could come together and have experiences like what we had in Paris around those assets. And we started in 2020 with fancy colored diamonds. And we moved on to horses, oddly enough, because we have a lot of family offices and investors from the South.
That's very niche.
Very niche and very
diamonds and horses.
And really, and but they're big alternative assets. And Luxus has always been sort of the platform for people to both experience events, whether it's Formula One, Royal Ascot, but also invest in things that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
The Hermès product came up about 2 months ago when Trump was elected. I had just listened to the Acquired podcast on Hermès. Being an Hermès client for the last 20 years, I never thought of handbags as an asset class before that podcast.
Yeah.
And I
even owning them yourself.
Even owning them myself.
Having them and
yeah, I mean, I have a beater bag.
yeah.
My first one from 20 years ago. It's my favorite one.
I love it.
Would never sell it ever.
We'll come back to that later.
We'll come back, yeah. And and so for me, it was just something that was very personal. I really connect with the brand, and I have for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I was really impressed by the podcast and wanted to put my head down and think about how we could create a product just dedicated to Hermès on the alternative side. And we did. We kind of locked ourselves up. We started speaking to all the resellers, really understanding the dynamics, the supply and demand economics, how quick the turnover was of the assets.
Yeah.
And we came up with Fund One that launched in May of 2025 with $1 million. And the whole idea was to just buy new in box Birkins and Kellys.
Yeah.
The portfolio.
What type of if you're investing $1 million, what was like a minimum check size that you're accepting from investors?
100,000.
Minimum check size to get into the fund, 100K.
You needed to be an accredited investor.
Yeah.
We were trying to apply the Hermès model of exclusivity also to the investors.
This is the first time this has been done, obviously. So this is the first type of investment fund that's targeting this type of asset class. So getting people on board for that, was that easy, or were people like gung-ho as soon as you said you were doing it?
It was surprisingly easy, which was shocking, yeah.
That's amazing.
It was also investors, like professional investors from the hedge fund community, from
people that knew about Hermès, knew about
yeah,
how difficult it is to get the bags, people that were like, if you're investing in this, I'm pulling the trigger now.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it was just about investing in a fund that was like real estate that, had only trophy assets in it. And those trophy assets traded at a markup.
Yeah.
And so our entry level price would be X, and then we would exit at Y. And the margin and the delta in between those two prices was wide enough that it would make for a compelling return.
Yeah.
And it has. I mean, every single thing that we've tried to do has worked for Fund One.
Yeah.
And Fund Two, there was so much demand that we ended up pushing some of it to Fund Two.
Okay.
And Fund Two closed. It's still kind of closing, but it really closed in its majority at the end of October.
Okay.
And that was $2 million, but it was 5x oversubscribed.
Okay.
So we had 10 million of demand. Still early days, so we only
Wow.
took 2 million in.
That's
Because that's a lot
crazy.
of bags. Yeah.
So you had 10 million ready to go and said, hey, we're capping this at 2, and
Yeah.
we'll figure out if there's going to be a next fund. And I hear there is going to be a next fund, or
There is.
it's already in the works. And
Yeah. I mean, I think because this is a very exclusive, scarce asset, it's important for us to scale globally. And the interest is global. I mean,
Yeah.
we have investor interest coming in from Singapore, Hong Kong, Bahrain, Saudi. And in Fund Two, we took investors from those regions to come to a U.S. fund, but they want their own funds in their own jurisdictions.
Yeah.
So I think in 2026, we're going to spread across the world.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
wild.
It's wild. It's so fast.
Yeah.
It's happening really, really fast.
Do you think this is going to be, do you think other assets are going to be monetized in this way? Like watches, or do you ever think that Chanel, let's say another brand, would be able to garner this type of interest and be able to monetize this way?
No, there have been funds for watches, for watches and for cars.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason there hasn't been an Hermès fund is because I'm the first kind of woman in this space and fractional and in this, and I know this brand quite well. And the other
the stars just sort of kind of aligned. You're in private equity and you love the brand, you see what's going on, and you just woke up one day and said, "Hey, let's make a return on this." And essentially, you can relate this. Everybody that owns an Hermès bag can relate to it, essentially, just on a much smaller scale, because they're getting bags from the store. Obviously, you have to. You don't have to pre-spend, but typically, it's understood that you have to be a client of Hermès. You have to be spending at Hermès. They're not just handing bags over to anybody, except for very special, unique places like Paris, where there is a possibility where you could walk in and get a bag with never having been a client of Hermès. So
that's true. I mean, I think when I started buying my Hermès bags, it was easier to get them.
Oh, for sure.
And it's I would say in the last 5 years.
Did you watch Sex and the City whenever?
Of course,
religiously. Everybody did. I mean, you're a New Yorker. You're a New Yorker that loves Hermès bags. Sex and the City must have been.
It was my Bible.
Yeah.
And
I think for many of our listeners, they would agree with that as well.
Yeah, and it was also very relatable at the time. You know, I mean, I think it still is, and I think that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Sex and the City. There were other, early 2000s moments for the Birkins and the Kellys, and then I think it just exploded from there.
Yeah. The most iconic line that I would say came from Sex and the City, in my opinion, has got to be, "It's not a bag, it's a Birkin." And TikTok, Instagram, everything, it's viral everywhere. It's become like the audio that everybody uses for their unboxings or showing their bags or whatever.
So true.
Whatever it may be. So it's funny how Hermès and pop culture and fashion, they all integrate together, and it's become such an icon. I would say that Hermès is more of an icon in the fashion industry than Rolex or, let's say, AP or Patek.
For sure.
Obviously, those are difficult brands as well to shop and everything, but it definitely has not popped. Like, it's not become a form of pop culture like Hermès has,
Hermès is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all over social media. It's all over mainstream media. It's just everywhere. And I think that we'll get to that, I guess, with the fatigue of it all. But I do think that it's really important that a company that doesn't even try, they don't use influencers.
I would say that Hermès ignores their customers. They don't need to try at all. I've seen multi-millionaires on their knees in Paris begging for bags, which is crazy.
After the auction in Paris, I went to the store with a couple of friends, and it was packed with people from all over the world begging.
I literally went right after the auction in Paris. I literally left that auction. I went, grabbed a drink, and went to Hermès and tried to get something to console myself, because I was bidding on the bag as well for a client of ours. Obviously, we didn't win. We were about 8 million shy of being there. But I went to Hermès to get a consolation prize, and the stress of it all.
It was anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's an amazing feeling when you get a bag from Hermès. And I know that's going to sound ridiculous to a lot of people that don't understand the brand, but it's an amazing feeling whenever that bag comes out. Imagine like a kid. You're a kid and the ice cream truck rolls by and you hear that music. When that orange box comes out, I would say it's much the same type of feeling.
100%. When I got my first one in 2005, I had to go to Paris to pick it up. And I did. I traveled all the way to London for work and took the train and went and picked it up. And it was like an entry ticket for me at all the good restaurants. I remember getting into Marquee and Double Seven and all those places only would sometimes let people in if they had a Birkin or Kelly on. I just wanted, like, I was influenced by Carolyn Bessette. So I tried to get the same bag she did.
Yeah.
And so that's that bag. And it's a Vito bag now. But it's so important to me to be able to tell that story.
Yeah.
Because I got it with my bonus for 2005 from Blackstone. I was so proud of it.
Yeah.
And I see girls everywhere now trying to do the same thing. I was at JP Morgan yesterday, and the women that hosted me were like, we want to get our first Birkin or Kelly with our bonus this year.
Yeah.
Because it was a record year for Wall Streeters. So it's really nice to be able to see all that.
Don't you think it's nice you have those commemorative moments, I would say, where you reach a level of success or something happens and you're able to reward yourself with something and it becomes essentially a part of you, you know? I have a watch that I bought, closed a big deal, and I went and got a watch. And that watch, my wife says, you should sell that and get another one. I'm like, I'm not selling that watch. That's, you know, a piece of who I am. Some people would say silly tying something physical to your, I'm not saying it's like a piece of net worth or a part of net worth or makes me feel more worthy or whatever, but it is a small piece of you. Just like when you buy a home, you have emotional attachment to that home, I would say. Trying to compare it to something similar. So
I would never sell my bags, any of them. And I think that, especially now, it's so important to have things that you feel are really connected to a story in your life versus just materially spending.
So why now? Like, why this moment in time? Why hasn't a fund like this happened before? What do you think has changed in the last, I would say, decade, 5 years? And I know you're starting it, but
I think that a couple of things. I think the post-COVID period has created a boom in luxury.
Yeah.
I think people just shopped and shopped and shopped, so prices spiked. Bernard Arnault became a very wealthy person and broke into the top 10.
Bernard, you can sponsor our next podcast episode if you'd like. DM me. We'll talk later. Don't you worry.
And I think people started looking at luxury in a different way and as a real asset class. And so what I wanted to do, I started Luxus in 2021 as a result of this, focused on jewelry in the beginning. But I think for me, it was also the level of volatility that we experienced in the first half of 2025 with the tariffs was a reason for me to start the fund now before the price increases kind of kicked in. And so I think we're living in really exciting times. I mean, it's hard for a lot of people out there, but I think there's so much innovation happening in technology and finance and consumer. And I think it's just the best time.
Tell me, what type of person was the first investor? Are we talking friends? Are we talking family? Are we talking business partners? Kim Kardashian. Is she invested in Luxus? The people want to know.
So it's actually all men.
Really?
Yeah, it was all men. It was a very, very...
Ladies, respectfully, step up your game. Text Dana and get in the fund. What are you doing?
The second fund has 2 women, but the first fund is all men.
Okay.
And it's hedge fund guys. They got it. I mean, they just in their heads understand about trading.
People that you've worked with in the past. And
people that I've worked with in the past, friends of ours.
Yeah.
Investors in Luxus from day one. And it was the easiest pitch. I mean, they all have wives, daughters, mothers, sisters. And they understand that they can't just walk into an Hermès store and get a Birkin or a Kelly.
Yeah.
So they, by definition, understood the scarcity. And they were like, okay, no brainer, supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
I was expecting there to be more women in the first fund.
Women are more risk averse. Women are more risk averse, and
men are very aggressive. I would say they don't really they see what you're doing. They know what it's about, and they're like, let's do this.
Yeah, and they're ready to jump in. Women, like to wait and see. And, is it going to fail? Is it going to be a success? And I'm
not going to lie, there are times when I could have a little more patience in my life. It's a good trait to have. So I can appreciate that in women, for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'd love to have more women for sure. But we have
Yeah.
two in the second fund.
Give us some of the metrics. What are you guys targeting? What is hot tamales for Luxus? What excites you, and what doesn't excite you?
So on the portfolio construction side, we have stuck to the bread and butter bags.
Okay.
So the grays, the browns, I'm not going to use the Hermès names. I'm going to use the regular names just
That's
for
fine.
now. The blacks, the rouges, which I guess is an Hermès name. We have really stuck to those. They've been turning over fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's an entry level bag, I guess, but it's really been the most
They're
in
the
demand.
best bags.
They're the best
They're
bags.
literally the best bags. Neutrals always do well. Neutrals always do well.
Yeah.
For us as a reseller, that's also those are our best. Those are our fastest movers. Our neutral colors. So.
And I'll give you a little bit of an example. For Fund 1, we invested 90%. We were 90% deployed fairly fast, so
Okay.
42 bags. And we've sold 17.
Okay.
And the ROIs have been 38% gross and I think about 30% net,
Okay.
which is really, really impressive. I
Yeah.
mean, AI doesn't even trade at that level.
Yeah.
AI stocks. Private credit, which is like the best performing asset class right now in private markets,
Okay.
is not doing that well. So we've been really pleased with the results.
Yeah.
And
Do you
I
think there are going to be copycats?
for sure.
Does that keep you up late at night?
No. It's
You're
so
like-
hard. It's so hard to be in asset management. I think a lot of people think they can do it. It looks easy.
And not just asset management. I would say it's not. People think that it's easy to be a reseller as well.
I know.
So you're doing asset management essentially for an asset class like Hermes, and unfortunately, the bags don't fly off the shelves all the time. Sometimes they do. Sometimes I'm surprised at how quickly bags sell, and then some they take a little bit longer, a little bit longer time, and a little bit more care and attention, and a little bit more kick out the door than other bags.
That's been the most surprising thing. I think sourcing, when I first started looking at this, I thought sourcing would be the hardest.
Okay.
And it's not.
Yeah.
What's really, really hard is being able to resell them
Yeah.
to the consumer. I think consumers are still picky and finicky and don't want to pay an overly inflated price.
And I would say the biggest thing is trust. It's not even about finicky and choosy, I would say. It's really about, can you trust what you're buying from a reseller? And there's so many resellers out there. I don't even want to label them as resellers. I want to label them as fraudsters that are taking advantage of people. Not that I know personally or associate with, but we get people commenting. We get fake bag sellers all the time commenting on our socials, trying to target people, messaging people saying that they're us, trying to get people, sending people emails that look like ours but are changed by one letter.
It's wild.
So it's like you're not just buying a bag, you're also buying essentially the person that you're buying the bag from, because you got to know that they're standing behind the product that you're selling.
So for us, that's been actually the most important thing because it's an institutional product with institutional investors, and the minimum is high and the accreditation is high. And so authentication and valuation for us were always going to be the most important factors we have. Trust is so important.
Yeah.
So we're just working with other partners and resellers that are heavily vetted, that are not just Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
And the fakes are everywhere.
You guys are not looking at non-quota bags. You're not
We're not.
targeting Evelyn's, Pinkertons,
Nope.
none of those bags.
No.
Why is that?
Because there isn't the scarcity component. I mean, they're still scarce. It's not easy to get a Picatinny for sure. But, it doesn't have the scarcity component that I think from an economic perspective makes the most amount of sense.
Yeah.
So we wanted to keep the universe tight.
Yeah. Yeah. We do the same thing. I mean, we rarely take bags that are non-quota bags, and I don't really like taking them, but because it's the margin that you're making on them is much smaller to begin with, and it takes the same amount of work. You're doing the same amount of stuff, same process for authentication, and you're just not making as much. So Papa's got bills to pay, guys. We are selling the Birkins and the Kellys because they make the margins work. We have a word from our second sponsor. Travertine Spa Collection is a luxury brand of body care, products, and high perfumery. You may know them from their Forbes award-winning eucalyptus steam shower sprays. Sold at Whole Foods, Four Seasons, and across 5-star resorts nationwide. If lucky enough, you've been able to experience their Vincero perfume, which is a work of art. Receiving an allocation of Vincero is not for the faint of heart. If you can successfully play the Hermès game, then you can appreciate what it takes for possible allocations. Tell them the Birkin Junkie sent you. Website, travertinespa.com. Their Instagram at Travertine Spa Collection. We all know Hermès is difficult to secure. Do you think that brand scarcity is manufactured at this point, or is it something that's organic?
I think it's manufactured because it's been amplified so much by...
I think it's manufactured.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Sorry. Let's
You
give your take, and then I'll give my take.
I just was really surprised by the amount of bags that are easy to source, that are easier to source than I thought they would be. And I think I attribute that to pent-up supply. But I still think there's a lot more bags out there than people think there are.
I think you guys are just spoiled.
Okay, maybe. Well, good. I guess we're doing our job right.
You guys have gotten a lot of press recently. You've
Yeah.
been all over the place. There's,
But that's been organic.
That's organic.
That's organic.
And I think that's why, because part of having access to bags is also having visibility in the marketplace. So, I mean, there are times that I'll go out and look for a bag and I can't find it for a month. Albeit, there's a certain price point that I need to be at for the bag, but still, I'll be looking for it pretty aggressively, and it won't pop up at all. At all. It's not that it's not there at a different price point. It's just not there. What I'm asking is, do you think what Hermès is creating, like the hype around Hermès, do you think they've got bags just stocked to the brim and they're just holding on to them and gatekeeping them, much like De Beers does with diamonds, I would say? Or is it there's so much natural organic demand for the bags that it's real?
Well, I think the demand is real, but I also think Hermès is definitely controlling the supply.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Obviously. But I also think that because the styles haven't changed that much, there is so much pent-up supply, much more than that was the most surprising thing for me when we started the product.
Yeah.
Is how much pent-up supply there is, especially in places like Japan, where they've kept everything in pristine condition. And I don't think it's manufactured to the extent. I think the hype is real.
Yeah.
And they're unfazed by it all, and they just do their thing. But I do think that they're trying to keep up with the supply, with the demand side, also by, as you know, integrating vertically more factories and craft whatever workshops that they want to do, and they're smart about that.
Yeah.
They're growing strategically. They're not growing manically like the other luxury brands did to keep up with this. They're not trying to democratize anything.
Yeah.
They're trying to just stay as exclusive as possible. And so I guess in the sense that's organic, but I also think it's their strategic path.
Yeah. I don't think there's any brand that has safeguarded and protected their image and I would say their company more than Hermès does. They're probably one of the best case studies in fashion for success.
They're contrarian. I always say that to everybody. It's a contrarian bet. And they are the very, very, very top of luxury pyramid. I mean, it's really just Hermès. But remember, they're also a public company.
Yeah.
So they have analyst calls. They've got to, respond to investors. They were subject to a pretty aggressive takeover bid from LVMH.
Unsuccessful. Thankfully unsuccessful. Very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Let's talk about that for a second. Bernard has essentially, I believe he's vowed to not pass away until he has that brand fully under his control. And I'm not actually vocally saying that, but I feel like there's a vendetta for LVMH to own that brand.
Or FOMO.
And do you think, or FOMO? Wow. Imagine being able to control Hermès as a brand.
But that's what I think makes it so desirable.
Yeah.
Having said that, the stock is trading at 52x, which is very expensive.
It's very expensive, but you look at the bags. The bags on the resale market are trading 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 times what they are. So why wouldn't the stock sort of mirror that effect, you know?
Because the stock, because it's a different analysis. I mean, it's a different.
You're the private equity
Yeah,
person.
no, I
Tell
know.
us.
I think the public stock is too expensive, and I think
Okay.
that's the reason the funds have sold so well, is because now you're investing in the actual assets versus in investing in the operations and in the French factories, because France is limited at the end of the day, right? So
Yeah.
trading at 52x is a very expensive price to pay for the stock. And
What would be a similar company that's trading at that same type of multiple? Would it be like, I don't know, who?
Apple? I mean,
What
I
does
don't
Apple trade at? Like,
I don't know. Let's look at what Apple's trading at. But it's very much on the expensive side. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens with AI, and all of them are private companies, but most of them are also pre-revenue, and their valuations are through the roof.
I mean, I can imagine that Hermès, much like many other companies, are going to be integrating AI into their business.
I doubt it.
I believe they will, for like back of house stuff, for like management, like finances, etc. I think AI is going to play a big part in that. Obviously, how do you integrate AI into crafting?
Yeah.
That's not possible. But yeah, it's what an interesting time we live in.
Very interesting.
I don't know where I was going with this, but it's a funny conversation, something to think about. How is AI going to affect 200-plus-year-old company, or almost 200-year-old company?
I think it's going to affect it in operational efficiencies,
Yeah.
data,
Yeah.
in marketing potentially. I think obviously the product will remain very much manual.
100%. I don't think Hermès is changing at all ever, the way that they do things. I mean, they've got such a phenomenal product, and they've seen what it's done for the brand, because the Kelly bag, the Birkin bag, those have honestly catapulted that company into what I would say it is today, because it's a driver for everything else. Because people are spending on jewelry, people are spending on home goods, people are spending on everything that Hermès has to offer. A bicycle, a $300,000 couch.
The Band-Aids. Did you see the Band-Aids?
I saw the Band-Aids. I need them.
I know. I need those Band-Aids too.
They're decorative Band-Aids, FYI. I'm going to go get some Band-Aids after this episode.
Are they still available? I thought they were sold out. Yeah,
They're sold out everywhere. Everything's sold out everywhere. It pisses me off.
I know.
It makes me mad. I go in there. I try to find a pair of shoes. They don't have them. I try to find a necklace. They don't have them. I try to find a bracelet. There's so many items you go into Hermès and you try to get, and they just don't have it. And it's like, what is going on? And that's why I think a lot of people turn to the resale market. A lot of people, they go to the resale market because they want something.
It's unbelievable how much demand there is and the exclusivity around it. And you know, the resale market, in my opinion, has thrived so much because of Hermès' model.
Yeah.
And that's the reason it's such a massive, massive TAM now.
Yeah. Let's bring it back to LVMH. We posted probably about 2 weeks ago that one of the heirs of the Hermès family is suing LVMH because I believe it's around 14 billion euros because of shares that were sold to LVMH that were never supposed to be sold to them. Do you think there's any chance at all that those shares are ever reverted back to the family and a court in Europe says, hey, you have to sell these back, or do you think that's a losing battle?
I think it's a losing battle. I don't know that much about the case, so I'm going to caveat, but I think that if
this is all allegedly. We're not blaming LVMH for anything, by the way.
what happened with LVMH is they bought a ton of Hermès stock from the scattered heirs, and then Hermès figured that out, and so the Dumas got together and they made all the Hermès heirs put it in a trust that one person controlled or a couple of family members controlled.
Is that that's legitimate?
Yeah.
Or that's
Yeah.
crazy?
So, but before that, LVMH did get its hands on a lot of shares.
Okay.
And they also use credit default swaps, which I don't want to get too technical, but it's getting exposure to Hermès stocks without actually buying equity.
Okay.
And they've converted it, all legal,
Gotcha.
just clever.
Bringing it back to trying to source things, bags that you're looking for. For us, a lot of our top sellers, a lot of the bags that we sell are mini Kellys, Birkin 25s, Birkin 20s. Birkin 20s are literally the sexiest girl in the room. Like, one of those bags walks in and I'm drooling. And I don't think people really know how difficult they are to get. Those are sort of the top sellers for us. Are you guys seeing sort of the same thing, or?
I think for me personally, but I think also on the demand side, we are seeing a lot of demand for 35 centimeters.
Really?
In the neutrals. Yeah. It's just the bag that you can throw everything into. It's heavy, but it's
We don't sell too many Birkin 35s.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. I mean, we sell one here and there. I just got a request for one yesterday. But we just don't get a lot of... anybody that's buying them from us, they want them as a beater bag. Something to throw around, something to travel with, something to use as a diaper bag. People love it as a diaper bag.
I think that the beater bag conversation is interesting. I think that Gen Z really does want the beater bag, so you're seeing demand on the on the lower side of the pricing.
Yeah.
And I think because the resellers didn't source those before, now all of a sudden they're sourcing them hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's also kind of changing our asset allocation within the funds to keep track at least of what's going on with that demand.
People love to say, and they've been saying it for 2 years, that big bags are coming back. I don't think they're coming back. I just think that, like you said, Gen Z is potentially fueling the beater bag demand, and those beater bags are obviously at a lower price point for them.
They're more accessible.
They're more accessible for them. It's spending $10,000, $11,000 on a bag is easier for them.
Yeah.
So there's more demand for them. But I don't know that equates to the Y2K type mentality of big bags. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see like Paris Hilton with a big bag, or Lindsay Lohan with a big bag, or Mary-Kate and Ashley with their massive Kellys. Like, I don't think I don't really get that vibe.
Oh, I don't know. I think that people are harking back to the 90s as like the cool era now.
I agree with you. I'm a millennial baby. I'm from 93. So I'm 32. The 90s were the best. Early 2000s were the best. And I think that Gen Z just wants to be us.
And I think that also, the Olsen twins and their beater bags. I personally like the beater bags too.
Yeah.
And I think that there is demand for that. I think there's also, like I said, the harking back to the 90s, the Carolyn Bissett's, the Kate Moss. The Kate Moss image this summer with her with the beater Kelly on the beach was iconic.
Yeah.
And was everywhere. Having said that, we're also, the demand for the mini Kellys is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of that, and I call that the Jenner effect. I think a lot of the Jenner girls wear those, and people want them from all over the world. They're also, I guess, accessible.
Yeah.
Do you have demand for those?
For the which ones?
Mini Kellys.
Oh, for mini Kellys?
Yeah.
We have demand all the time for mini Kellys. I mean, those are mini Kellys. I would say, on a breakdown of what we're selling, probably 70% are Birkins. Birkin 25s predominantly. I would say the rest are Kelly 25s and mini Kellys. Those are really sort of the bags that are moving and hot, and Birkin 20s are spread out in between that, but that's just because they're at a much higher price point than the Birkin 25s.
We're also seeing the guys starting to buy the hacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like speaking of hacks, we have a gorgeous hack with us.
Stunning.
This is part of the men's collection. And I'm trying to buy this bag off Dana, but The budget is not budgeting, guys. We need to. We'll talk after, Donna. We'll figure something out.
That's a beauty.
It's gorgeous, and it's a blue box bag.
It's a blue box.
For
bag.
those of you that don't know, a blue box bag is literally a blue box bag. It's a box that comes lined. The interior is blue box. You have the blue box logo. The dust bag has the blue logo on it. Become a travel bag for many people, and I love seeing them whenever I'm traveling. You see somebody on top of their carry-on, and I'm like, that's my type of person.
It's a status symbol, I think, for athletes when they walk into the game.
Sure, and that's recent. That's very recent. Now that a lot of NFL
Leo
players,
Messi, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I don't know why it took Messi so long to jump on board.
He's got the cargo too.
What the hell? And the cargo's gorgeous.
The cargo's gorgeous, but that is like a real classic.
Yeah, this one's beautiful. Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs loves Hermès. He's an NFL player. Shout out to Stephon Diggs. We follow each other. We're tight like that.
We have so much.
We never talk, but someday.
We had a lot of inquiries after the press from athletes.
Yeah.
In general about
investing
in the
We do too.
fund.
Somebody will come out with a bag. Kendall Jenner, Kim Kardashian will use a bag. I would say the Kardashian family, they're really as many, whether you hate them or love them, they're really, I would say, bag influencers.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that new show that Kim is in, she's wearing.
There was a lot of controversy around
the
that elephant
skin,
Birkin that she used, which was, we posted about that, and that went pretty. It didn't go like viral, but we were mentioned across like different news outlets.
That was the thing that was most surprising to me when we announced and we went so viral, is the emotional reaction to this brand. Like people really take it personally.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that, because for us it's a fund, it's an investment product, we're agnostic.
Yeah.
We just want to see if it's going to make money.
So you're getting hate messages.
Well, not hate, but people are
haters.
We definitely
you
got
have your haters.
Which I guess means we made it, right?
Listen, it's complimentary, and they push the algorithm, so that's keep doing your thing, guys. I think the reason that people get so emotional about these bags is the fact that there are people out there that spend and have that type of money to be able to do that. There's a lot of successful people out there, just as many, I would say. Actually, there's fewer, obviously, but there's a lot of successful people out there. That's essentially what you're catering to, is luxury.
Yeah.
And that's a luxury asset has never been seen as accessible or easily attainable by a lot of people. So I think people can just take that to the next level and maybe put out a little bit of hate sometimes because of that. If everything's accessible, then it's not luxurious at all. Quoting Mr. Brian Boy. All right, where can we pivot to now?
I think the fund, like Hermès, is going to have a small scalability trajectory. I am not interested in turning it into a mass retail product.
Yeah.
Just because
you're not looking to become the next Real or the.
No.
I think it's great keeping those things boutique, intimate, and targeted.
Absolutely. And also, this is still early stages, and we need sophisticated investors who know how to handle risk.
How can we talk about Hermès, and how can this be the Birkin Junkie podcast without talking about Jane Birkin? Obviously, the icon that she is and was, rest in peace. Do you think that Jane Birkin would be... I mean, Jane Birkin passed away only a couple years ago. But do you think that she would agree with what's going on today?
I don't. I think she was sort of a free spirit. And you know, she also lived at a time in the 60s and 70s where, you know, it was more about being bohemian and different. She famously had a basket bag that she just wore everywhere, not the Birkin. And she gave away her first bag, the one that we saw get auctioned. Didn't she sell it? She donated it to Amphar.
Yeah, she donated it to a non-for-profit.
She only had 5 Birkins, which Hermès gifted to her. One of them was the one we saw sold. The other one I just saw get sold in Abu Dhabi for $2.8 million.
So there's still 3 out there that are...
2 of them went to her daughters, and they're not going to go to market.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's something special. Did you see Paris just honored Jane Birkin?
Yeah,
with
I love that.
The naming of the bridge.
I love that. I think it's
the
so...
10th district.
I think it's so important that fashion does get the respect that it's now getting. And it was very touching to see her daughters walk up the street
Yeah.
and the steps. And I know that she would have loved it, I think.
Yeah. I think it was a beautiful moment. Jane, wouldn't it have been wild to meet Jane? You know, I mean, she passed away, 2023? That's not long ago, and it would have been amazing to meet her, but obviously you're meeting an icon.
Yeah.
How do you say hello? You know? And she always beat up her bags. She stickered them, stuffed them, filled them, beat them, dumped them out. So many videos of her showing people what's in her bag. And I think a lot of people have moved and put this like glass case around their Hermès bags these days. Like, don't touch them, don't look at them. And I definitely know that she wouldn't be thrilled about that. I think Hermès is trying to change a little bit, pivot a little bit because of that. Because I think they see that as well, that they want a more organic, they want a more soft look. And there's been rumors that they're going to be moving away from the Cellier models style Birkins and that they're canceling those. They're discontinuing them. So I think Hermès is also sort of adopting that Jane Birkin lifestyle. Maybe not lifestyle, but that Jane Birkin model of how to treat a bag. I think it's
I think you have, in order to establish trust, I do think that the bag needs to be wearable. And like for me, I love to use my bags all the time. I don't send them to the spa. I would never send them to the spa.
Yeah.
I think it looks more relatable almost. And I think because of Jane is why you see the rise in demand for the beater bags.
Yeah.
By Gen Zers.
We have another word from our sponsor, the Psychic and Tarot Card Readings by Sharon. Looking for insight into whether there's an Hermès bag in the future? Looking for clarity, closure, or a second chance at love? Sharon is a gifted psychic and tarot card reader who specializes in reuniting relationships and uncovering the emotional truths that bring hearts back together. Whether you're seeking reconciliation, understanding a breakup, or guidance on your love path, Sharon's intuitive readings offer honest insight, special direction, and hope. Book your reading today and let the cards reveal what's meant to be at lovehealersharon.com. What a beautiful sentiment. I would like to know whether there's an Hermès bag in my future. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Everybody would.
Definitely.
Let's do some icks.
Yeah.
What are some Hermès
I have a lot of icks.
What are like some things that like you see and you're like, gross? Like, I can tell you mine and I'll be very verbal about it. I want to hear yours.
I think that the oversaturation of the social media stuff is, and not done well, gives me the ick. I'm older.
What do you mean by oversaturation?
Like the constant videos and the influencers posing with Hermès bags that they don't own, but are just kind of, I don't know, pushing for other people.
Gotcha.
Gives me the ick. I also feel like Hermès does such an amazing job with the marketing collateral and the assets that they produce. And in resale, they often don't really follow that lead. And so that upsets me. I'm very, very, very visually sensitive, if you will. For a finance person, for sure.
What do you mean by resell? Are you talking about like resellers?
I'm talking about like more the mass, big resellers that are just kind of putting the Birkins and the Kellys on mannequins and, side.
Yeah. How do you sell a bag and still keep that same type of exclusivity and that respect? Respect is a great word. How do you keep that same type of respect that I would say Hermès does? Because there's a lot of resellers out there that are just mistreating and mishandling, abusing bags. And, I get what you're saying.
I think for us, it's very important to present the bags in the best light possible. So hiring prop stylists, hiring the right photographers, really treating them as the celebrities that they are versus just like a consumer good is really important. And we've invested a lot of time and money into that. And you can see that in our assets. And I think one of the things that made the fun announcement goes so viral is the assets.
Yeah.
And I think that because the resellers have so many other things to spend money on, like security and supply chain and logistics, they don't necessarily have a lot of money left over for marketing. You know, and that's unfortunate because it should, in my opinion, be prioritized.
Yeah. What are some other icks you have?
I think that sometimes when you're on social media, I think the conspicuous consumption of the bags is a little bit irritating to me. I think your account is great because it's funny and it's humorous, and
I would agree with you.
It's not just, you know, people sitting in a closet
Yeah.
showing Birkins and Kellys.
Yeah, we found a really great niche in selling through humor, which is and relatable. And you know who is done that really well as well is the Stad guy. His sell-throughs.
He was at the auction in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I saw. That's one of the reasons I was upset I wasn't there. I would love to meet him. But he is done a phenomenal job at selling through humor.
Yeah.
And starting a brand and creating a brand around humor. And we try to do that same thing, a little bit different, but it's relatable. You need to connect with people, and we've been successful.
Very. And I also think that, to your point from earlier, the affordability issues kind of make you want to lean into that more, right? So that you're not all of a sudden sounding tone deaf.
Yeah.
Which even to me, we have access to the bags in the fund, but it gives me the ick when people are too in your face about the conspicuous consumption and the bling of it all in a time that I'm not sure that's so appropriate.
You know what gives me the ick? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
All of these influencers that are like purposefully mishandling and abusing their bags. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a try hard movement. I think it's like you're trying to make yourself seem like something that you aren't, or feel like just let your bag age and naturally, like organically, instead of like stomping on it and abusing it. Like Jane Birkin wouldn't have done that shit. Like, and they try to use that as like, I'm Jane Birkifying my Birkin. I guarantee you she never once stuck her foot inside her bag and beat the shit out of it. But for some reason, people love to do it on TikTok and Instagram, and there's a couple influencers out there that do it, but I just keep on scrolling. Irrelevant in my opinion, but it's rage bait. You're trying to get a rise from people. So that's the type of stuff that gives me the ick. Also, I think you're buying a luxury good. You don't have to treat it like a luxury good, because for many it's not a luxury good. It's a utility. It's a good.
It's a utility. It's got a utility function.
So just use the bag, treat it right. Why would you wouldn't take your watch and smash it against a concrete wall? Why would you do the same with a bag? Or it doesn't make sense to me.
I didn't even know people were doing this.
Yeah.
You have to forward me that.
Yeah, it's all over.
That's crazy.
It's kind of irrelevant now. It was like a couple months ago. Everybody was doing it, but that type of stuff. What about stickers on the hardware? Is that an ick for you? Is somebody's keeping the bag and they just keep the stickers on? Is that?
Yeah, and I also don't love the Labubu trend.
Oh, the Labubu.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Labubus, I'm kind of whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I think it was the fastest rising and dying trend.
Is it dead now?
Yeah, I think Labubus are done. People were fighting each other over Labubus.
I know, it was crazy.
And like people were crawling over each other for these dolls.
I know.
It was like Beanie Babies 2.0.
Yeah.
Maybe
100%.
worse. I don't know. I made some content around it and joking about it and used them in some clips. I don't really care. It's your bag. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, besides stomp on the bag. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what blows my mind is I see resellers supposedly selling real bags that sell fake lookalike charms, like fake rodeos, and they give them as gifts to people. And I'm like, that gives me the ick, honestly, is you're selling an authentic bag and then you're giving a fake Hermès lookalike charm to go with the bag. I'm like, something just doesn't sit right with me. That's another ick that I have. And I've seen it, quite a few people do that. And for me, if you're putting something inauthentic on a bag.
Like a raincoat?
No, raincoat is fine because you're protecting the bag. That's fine. Like you can buy a raincoat anywhere for your bag. But like charms or like if you have a fake Pegasus or rodeo charm on your bag, it's weird. It's strange to me. It's like tarnished now in my
I also think
mind.
the bags are so clean. Like I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just clutter.
You don't need to buy a charm, honestly.
You
don't need to have a fake charm. Obviously, and because it's an imitation charm. It's literally what it is. It's a fake because it's a Hermès specific charm. So I don't know. That gives me the ick as well. Do you think that the hype is sustainable? Do you think that this hype is sustainable for Hermès and what we've seen? Do you think it'll continue to be this way forever?
No, I don't. I mean, I think that everything does come to an end.
What?
I know. I mean, you can cut this also, but
she's
that's
raining
what
on
keeps me up
my
at night.
Hermès Birkin junkie party, guys. I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, I think that it's sustainable to a degree. Mm-hmm. I think we're seeing it already come down from the post-COVID.
Oh, post-COVID for sure.
Yeah.
But that's because there was so much cash. Everything got inflated. Everything, literally everything in the world. Watches, cars, houses, everything has come down.
But how can you have so much publicity?
Now I think we've stabled.
For fatigue. I mean,
I think
not
we've
to set in.
stabled at pricing. I think prices stabilized, in my opinion.
Prices, maybe they have. I mean, Graham's the expert. But
I mean, prices have gone up over the last couple of years, but that's price increases from the boutiques. That's tariffs that the Trump administration has put on different companies and countries.
Yeah.
So that's affecting us as well because of those tariffs. We've had to cut back on sourcing internationally, and I know some of the people that we buy from internationally hate to see that because we buy a lot. And the numbers don't make sense, and I'm sure you guys see that as well. When you can buy a bag for X in the U.S. and it's 30% more expensive bringing it in from Y.
We only source domestically for now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that maybe because we're in it, because of the fund, it definitely seems like the hype is at an all-time high still, like in terms of the algorithm.
I feel it like I've never been busier.
Yeah. For sure.
But also we're growing. I mean, so that's one thing is I've hired 3 assistants. I mean, I have 3 employees that work for me full time. So we're growing, and thankfully, we've been very blessed. But in my opinion, I believe the hype isn't going to die down because Hermès protects their assets much like Patek, much like AP.
I also think you're right. I do trust Hermès to make the right decisions to make sure it's sustainable.
Yeah.
They've been very, very smart about strategy.
All I know is every time I go to Hermès, I have to get on my hands and knees to beg for a bag.
Yeah.
And the day that I walk into Hermès and it's easier than pie for me to get a bag, I know that the end is near. So
that's true.
That's my gauge. That's going to be my oh shit moment, you know?
Hermès will always be in demand.
Let's do what's in your bag. Before we do what's in your bag, I do have 2 little gifts. One for you.
Oh.
These are our new hats that we released. Club BKC.
I love it. Quota bags only.
Quota bags only.
That's so good.
What do you think Club BKC stands for?
Birkin Kelly Club?
Nope. Birkin Kelly Constance. Birkin Kelly Constance. We have one for you as well, Graham. I will throw this to you.
I love the quota bags only.
Little pre-Christmas gift. Show us what's in your bag.
Okay,
Let's
well,
see.
now we have the hat.
Now we have the hat.
But also my travel, so sunglasses always. I live in these. A brush. A wallet that my dog has eaten.
Donna, that brush is beat.
Yeah, it's
and
my
the
dog.
wallet.
It's Augie. Yeah, and the wallet.
Tell Augie to chill.
Sorry, I know, he's insane.
You have a Cavalier, right?
The Collector's Week. Yeah, I do have a Cavalier. It's my life.
Love Cavaliers.
Collector's Week from Sotheby's. My tickets. My
From
travel
Abu Dhabi?
tickets from Abu Dhabi.
You haven't even unpacked.
I haven't even unpacked. Cards. I just got back and business cards, other people's cards that I haven't even looked at. Sunglasses always.
Love it.
Multiple pairs.
I use my Ray-Bans like crazy.
Me too.
I only use Ray-Bans.
Chargers, always.
My phone
Lipsticks.
dies, I'm dead.
I know, me too. You
done
must
for.
be. I'm dead also. Lipsticks and glosses. And more chargers. And my Abu Dhabi Finance Week delegate card
Ooh.
that I wore, because finance and luxury are now mixed into one, which is fantastic.
Anything else in there?
No, nothing
No?
really.
So you literally just got back and like have not unpacked at all. You
I
went
haven't.
straight from Abu Dhabi, boom, New York,
Came
Birkin
here.
Junkie podcast.
I did.
If somebody listening today, if you could tell them one thing to help protect the value of their bag, of their investment, what would you tell them? Like, what would be your advice?
I think it is important to treat your bag well. I am not a great example of that, but I do think that you should treat your bags well, but also make sure that they are utilized with love and affection.
Yeah.
But I think that, because you never know. And, you know, if you hit rough times.
Your taste can change, your style. You want to monetize. You want to, this bag can be a nest egg for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And
So-
it's a Veblen good, which means that as price goes up, demand goes up, and that does not happen. That's a contrarian concept in
Yeah.
finance. Only Hermès and maybe Patek and Ferrari are Veblen goods. So you've got to make sure your Veblen good is well protected in case you do need it in the future, for
Yeah.
sure.
Why wouldn't you want to try to protect your investment?
Well, I didn't clearly, but yeah.
But you've had this for 20 years,
Yeah,
right?
I've had it for 20 years.
It's 20 years. I mean, that bag is well loved.
Yeah.
And your cost per use is probably off the charts. A lot of people like to talk about their cost per use for bags.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about how much you're spending for the bag and making sure you're getting the value that you're paying for the bag. So you're fine.
Oh,
Don't
for
worry.
sure.
You're great.
I also bought the bag when it was only 4,000 euro.
That's insane.
Insane. I'll never forget it. And it was so expensive at the time.
Yeah.
And now it's what? You know,
Yeah,
this,
you're like
this
it,
particular
in US, you're like,
16,000.
this is a 35?
35.
This is a 35. So you're probably like, yeah, depending on where you're paying
With
tax.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy. So it really
If you can get your bags in Europe, God, please do.
Yeah.
Like if you
Or
can get your
Japan.
bags, Japan is good.
Do not get them in the Middle East. That's where like things
Yeah,
are
in
the
the
most
Middle
expensive.
East they charge a
Yeah.
hefty premium. Or in South America. South America is pretty tough as well, just because of the tariffs.
Europe is
that they
by far the
charge.
best place.
Well, Donna, I have had an amazing time with you. I've had a extremely
too.
pleasant fireside chat, if you will.
I'm so happy we met in Paris.
Me as well. I think it set the tone for a lot of future opportunity for the both of us.
I also think that it's something we're always going to remember.
Yeah,
Is that auction.
for sure.
And it's one of those, it's like buying the bag for me in 2005.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments that you're going to have with you forever. You'll tell your grandkids
Yeah.
about.
I actually went home with the paddle that I was bidding with. So I have some of those little momentums or those items that I had to beg them to let me take that paddle because
Yeah.
you're not supposed to walk out with it. And I begged, and like 3 different people tried to stop me, but I have it framed at home. So
Were you surprised that the Abu Dhabi sale yielded 2.8 million?
I was not expecting it to go that
Yeah.
high either. What was your estimate?
A
What were you
million
thinking?
also.
$1 million.
Although I won.
Do we know who won the bag yet?
We don't, but I do. I know Shinsu did not win it.
Yeah, because I know that him winning was released 8 hours or within like 6 hours. People were already.
Yeah.
We were broadcasting it that it was him.
Well, because
So,
he was very public about it.
Yeah.
I think that this particular auction, in the beginning, it took a while for it to trade up to 400,000. Like it was very
Hovering for a second.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was not good. I was getting a little bit of anxiety, and then as soon as it hit 1 million, it shot up.
Yeah.
Not even like 750. It just
Yeah.
shot up.
Crazy.
There were 2 people in the room bidding, and then there was the phone.
Gotcha.
And ultimately the phone won.
Yeah, it's always the phone.
It's always the phone. But we were right there. They did such a beautiful job. The sun was setting, and it was really, really incredible
Yeah.
to see.
Too many more Hermès
many
moments
more.
together. We were very excited to have you be the first guest on
Thank
our podcast.
you for having
and I
me.
think I'm not worried about having the most famous people, the most in-your-face people. I want people that understand us because we want to give insight into the brand for the community. That's what we're here for. So you were literally the best person we could have had for the first episode.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. And it's been the most fun to bring this product to market. And, as hard as it is most of the time, it's 10 times more like joyful.
We have Dana with Luxus and the Birkin Junkie. We will see you at the next unboxing, and we will see you around.